It would be hard to find someone more passionate about lifeguarding than Keegan Smith.
I would have started around 12 or 13. That's when you can first get your surf life-saving certificate.
At 26, he's now a veteran. He's been lifeguarding at community pools for 6 years. In suburbs and towns across Australia, this is where people come to swim and have fun. Keegan enjoys his job and takes it seriously.
I don't even think lifeguards themselves appreciate too much until they actually take a step back and think about it. I know for me, I realize it's my job to take care of these people.
The risks of the job were fully apparent in February when he was managing a team of lifeguards at a leisure centre in Melbourne's north. A group of boys was roughhousing. Keegan intervened with the leader.
I had to ask him to leave, and that's kind of where it escalated from there.
Keegan says one boy tried to kick him and missed. Then another stepped in.
He punched me in the face, and there was a second where I just I'm kind of not sure what's happening, and then I'm kind of come to, and I realize my glasses are broken. I think I feel bleeding and pain around my eye.
Police were called, and he was taken by ambulance to hospital. Doctors said he was lucky to avoid permanent vision damage, despite numerous scratches.
I think there's still a part of me that is still kind of emotionally processing it on a subconscious level.
Throwing punches and kicks in front of young families.
Violent confrontations have been escalating recently at community pools. 5 young men and teenagers were charged after a lifeguard was assaulted in Melbourne's eastern suburbs in January. Keegan Smith says he's noticed tensions are boiling over sooner, particularly with younger patrons.
I have found they are much more disrespectful to not just staff and people trying to enforce the rules, but just the other people around them. To me, that's a big thing.
From the suburbs to small towns, the community pool is a mainstay of Australian life. Millions swim mostly here, not the beach.
There is about 2,100 community swimming pools around Australia, and they're visited about 420 million times per year.
Hey, how you going?
Hi Scott, how are you?
Yeah, good thanks. Good to see you.
Scott Vanderheyden works with Belgravia Group, Australia's largest operator of leisure centres. It manages more than 200, and its summer peak employs nearly 3,000 lifeguards. Most, like Isabel Patalio, have stories to tell about run-ins with patrons.
Over the summer, nothing physical, thank goodness. But yeah, a bunch of swearing, but I'm just trying to do my job, enforce the rules.
Isabel may have escaped a physical confrontation, but Vanderheyden says others haven't been as lucky.
The physical assaults are definitely increasing, but the verbal harassment to staff and other members of the public are increasing as well.
Belgravia's latest data shows there have been more than 680 incidents of harassment in its centres this year. That compares to 589 incidents in all of the previous year. Verbal harassment makes up the bulk of incidents, but this year the share of physical confrontations has risen to almost 1 in 10.
Physical violence is growing and is a concern because no one in the community should want to be coming to an aquatic centre or hanging out in a pool and having to worry about whether they're going to be physically assaulted.
Most lifeguards are in their teens or early 20s. R.J. Houston from Royal Lifesaving Australia says they are not the answer when it comes to increasing security at leisure centres.
That lifeguards are not bouncers. They're not bodyguards, they're not military, they're not police, and nor should they be. They're not security guards. They're there to keep people safe. They're there to be experts at supervision and aquatic rescue.
Look, Imperial Pool at its finest.
There are claims some centres have gone too far. This video on social media allegedly shows Indigenous patrons being ejected from a community pool in Inverell in New South Wales. The centre operator, Belgravia Leisure, confirmed police were called. It told 7:30 at no stage were any patrons asked to leave unless they were directly involved in antisocial behavior. Some pools now require ID to enter as a deterrent to bad behavior. But R.J. Houston says that too can pose problems.
Councils are thinking about introducing things like ID and security. They've got to really balance those considerations around so that they protect the safety of the staff and patrons, but also balance the availability of the local pool to the people that need to access that local pool in the community.
At some centers, the solution will involve hiring security guards, another cost.
In a lot of our venues, we're engaging third-party security personnel to help manage those situations, because at the end of the day, our lifeguards are there with a primary focus to supervise the pools.
See ya.
Keegan Smith has already returned to work, but forgetting his violent attack will take longer.
Particularly on busy days where we get a lot of groups of teenagers, sometimes talking to them, I'm just thinking to myself, oh, it could happen again. It's just sticking back in my mind.